Now again, coming back to simple billing, we have got two additional requirements now. One is provide for bill number generation and store the line items in the Excel workbook sheet 2. Which Excel workbook? Remember, we had products.xlsx from which we are picking up the products. Okay, so in that sheet 2, we need to store the transactions. That is the line items in the Excel workbook. Okay, so these are the two additional requirements that we have received. Now, how do we go about making changes to this? We have to open the workbook which we have already opened for the products part, which was in sheet 1. So we are also assigning sheet 2 to a variable. Okay, so workbook sheet 2. Here there is no changes. So important thing is, when do we actually add these line items to the Excel file? That would be once the bill, all the line items have been entered and before going into the next bill. But that is the case when we are actually printing the bill, right? Okay, so here if you notice, I'm opening the workbook and I'm closing the workbook because I don't want to keep it unnecessarily open. So I'm opening the workbook, reading the products, storing it in a list, and I'm closing it. Now when we come to print bill, once it clicks on done, it will come to print bill, and this is where I add the line items to the Excel sheet. So workbook is equal to Excel load workbook and the file. Okay, so here I'm trying to open it. Maybe for some reason it may not open, it may not be found or something like that. But if it is opened, what do? I again assign sheet 2 of the workbook to sheet 2 variable. I check, because remember the second requirement is to provide the bill number generation. So I'm opening the sheet 2. I'm checking how many rows are there in the sheet 2. And from that, I'm getting the maximum number of rows that contain the data. And from that, I am picking up the bill number. Now, previously, this bill number was not there. So let's have a look at the Excel workbook. Now, this is sheet 1 where we had all the products and their prices. Let's go to sheet 2. I've already run this program multiple times, so I have some transactions. So here, if you notice, bill number, date, code, name, price, quantity, value. Yes, these are the column headings. Okay, and here what will happen is max row will give us 34 rows. So max will be 34. And what are we doing here? We are picking up the value in the last row, first column, right? Sheet 2 A string of max dot value. So A 34 first column. So it says 10. To that I am adding 1. So I get the next bill number, that is 11. Okay, everything remains the same. Yes, here I am adding one line to the printed bill, that is bill number. Everything else remains the same. Now here within the loop where I'm actually printing the bill, I'm going to incorporate this set of lines whereby I'm adding these details to the Excel sheet. Sheet 2.cell row plus I. What is this row? Row is the max sheet 2 max row plus 1. So there are 34 rows. So now I'll be working with the 35th row, and I'm going to pick up the line items one by one. Bill number is not there in the line item, so I'm directly putting it in 35, 1. That is 35th row, first column, and I'm storing bill number. 35th row, second column, I'm storing that date. Same way, 35th row, third column, I'm storing the item code, item name, price, quantity, value, everything. And of course, after coming out of the loop, I'm closing the workbook. Other than that, I have not made any changes to the code. Now let's run this and see. So remember, we had 34 rows, right? So now, and the 10th bill number 10 has only two items. Let's keep that in mind so that we can verify. 104 3 submit, 106 say 4 submit, 110 2 submit, and done. Quick. Yes. Okay. Now, of course, in the bill.txt, it would already be there because we didn't make any changes to this except for the bill number. And it is printing the next bill number. Last bill number was 10, so it is printing 11. Now let's go to the Excel worksheet. So I need to open that. Now you see 11th bill number, 3 items. Okay. Now we can use our Excel skills to do lot of analyzing. So let's analyze the data and let's say some quantity and value by code. Yes, we will do that and I will say insert pivot table. So it is giving me this, but the item code is not in particular order. So let's say ordered by code. And let's say insert pivot table. So you see, so 101 item code 101, total sum, the total quantity that has been sold is to sum of the value. So total value of this is 111. So till now the total sales is 10,369. Instead of code, we can also ask it to display some quantity and value by name, ordered by name, and I say insert pivot table. So it will give me sum of the quantity, sum of value. Sum of quantity actually doesn't make sense having the sum, but this may make sense. Okay, camel shaving brush, 9 quantity has been sold at the, and the total value is this. But this makes sense because this is our total sales. Okay, so got the idea? That's the advantage of storing it in a Excel sheet. Of course, in if we are into software development, we would not be storing it in Excel. We would be storing it in a database. I didn't want to complicate this too much, so I'm using Excel as my database. Okay, so we have taken care of bill number generation. We have taken care of the line items being stored in the Excel workbook. That's it. Bye.